I'm Target 12 investigator Tim White, along with my colleague Ted Nesi. And Ted, you are juggling major breaking news in the healthcare industry here in Rhode Island. What is the headline?
The headline, Tim, is that the big hospital merger talks are off this morning. Care New England's board has voted to abandon the merger conversations with Rhode Island hospital parent Lifespan. Care New England, of course, the parent of women and infants, Kent and Butler. I've joked they are the Ross and Rachel of hospital groups in Rhode Island. This is the third time they've tried to merge, and for the third time it's not happening. This is definitely a blow to Governor Raimondo, who had pushed Care New England to abandon its planned merger with Partners Healthcare of
up in
Boston. And so it really has created a lot of uncertainty this morning in the healthcare industry.
And Partners, of course, is the they operate Brigham and Women's up in Boston, so that's an enormous hospital group. You said that Care New England, the board voted to end these talks. Do we know why they broke down?
They gave a number of reasons. They said they weren't sure regulators in Washington would approve a merger of these two. I mean, you have to remember, if you put together Lifespan and Care New England, you have almost the entire hospital sector in Rhode Island under one ownership, which raises its own questions. You know, while it could have upsides, as some state leaders have said about an academic medical center for economic development for care, it would also mean that this one very, very powerful hospital entity would have a huge influence on the cost of care, on what is allowed and what isn't, et cetera. And so there were concerns about that. There were concerns about whether a combined Lifespan Care New England would have enough money to make the investments necessary, if it would be stable. And we know in the past, personality conflict has been a part of this. How many seats on the board does each group get? Who's in charge? We're still trying to figure that out. This only came out a couple hours ago. I'm actually going to sit down later today with Care New England CEO Jim Finale to try to understand this better. But I think all the same things that have destroyed these deals in the past seem to be at work again.
You know, as you point out, Governor Raimondo really pushed these two sides to come together. She must have put a lot of political capital on the table for this one.
Yeah, I think this was a put your chips in move by the governor, saying, I'm going to, frankly, maybe torch is too strong, but I'm going to undermine whatever relationship Care New England has with Partners up in Boston. I just spoke to Partners a short time ago. No sign so far they're coming back in to take over Care New England, try again. They said, we still care about our affiliation with them. We care about the health of Rhode Islanders, but no sign they're saying we're going to jump right back into this.
All right, final question for you, Ted. Probably one you can't answer. So what happens now?
That's the question. I mean, Care New England for now says it's going to try to be independent. They lost $5 million in the 6 months that ended March 31st. But they say that sounds worse than it is because they have made some headway. They've, of course, closed Memorial Hospital in Pawtucket, which helped their finances. And the biggest thing for Care New England, actually, oddly enough, is the NICU, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, the ICU for babies. That is such an expensive thing that just a small number of babies going in there or not going in there can mean a huge difference in the finances of women and infants and all of Care New England. And that was, again, the driver there. But I think that points to how fragile Care New England's financial situation is and why they've been trying for years to find a partner.
All right, this is obviously a major breaking story that's impacting a lot of people here in the region. Ted will have the very latest tonight, live at 5 on Eyewitness News, and right here all day long on WPRI.com.